Hi everyone, Aiden here with etrailer. If you drive a 2022 Toyota Sienna and you're looking for a bike rack that's really premium and easy to use and accommodating to a wide range of bikes, then I think that the Thule T2 Pro XTR could be a really good fit for you. Let's check it out. Now for starters, it's going to be a really accommodating rack for a wide range of bikes. You've got a 60-pound weight capacity, so it's good for e-bikes. And you've got a front wheel hook here, so it's going to work well on carbon frame bikes, alternative frame bikes, anything with a really nice paint job, all that goodness. And it does work pretty well with kids' bikes too. You've got some pretty nice convenience features too, like some integrated locks on those arms, so you can keep your bike secured to the rack when you're not around. Now in addition to all that though, you do also have the ability to tilt away with the bikes loaded, and it's pretty easy to do. You've got a handle at the very back end here, so it's easily accessible. You just gotta squeeze and lower down until it stops out. It does have a pretty aggressive tilt here, and with our particular bike today, it does come very close to the hatch. And the Sienna has a very large hatch. You'll see right around here, it looks like it's gonna hit our handlebars on our mountain bike, but there is enough room I can flex this out and just squeeze it past. Now for reference, the handlebars on my bike today are 15¼ inches from the very center to the edge here. So it's pretty wide. If you're just using your bikes for going out with your family, you might find that your handlebars aren't nearly as wide and you don't run into that issue. But it's good to know that you've just got a little bit of wiggle room there, even if you do have a larger handlebar like this bike does. To get the bike unloaded, we're gonna start by the rear tire, where we'll just press a button and pull that ratcheting strap out. We do that first because it's not physically holding the bike upright. That's what the wheel hook is doing. We can release this once we have a hand on the bike, and all we gotta do is squeeze this release button, push up on the hook, and out on the arm. That's gonna get things pretty much all the way out of our way and allow us to lift the bike up and away from the rack. We can check out a few measurements with the bike unloaded though. And the first one I want to take a look at is your ground clearance. The hitch on the Sienna is really low to the ground, so the impressive rise in the shank is getting us 18½ inches of clearance at the back end by the handle here. That's really good, especially if you consider adding on to this later and converting it into a 4-bike rack, because that's just going to make it even longer, and it's going to be really helpful to have that extra clearance when you go to tilt it away. Now, the distance added to the back bumper on our Sienna is 37½ inches, just a little over 3 feet. Not terrible for a 2-bike rack, but certainly not the most compact thing out there. You want to be mindful of it when you're driving around in this position with bikes loaded, as you're changing lanes, pulling into parking spots, things like that. We can, however, fold this up for easier storage. Just pull that handle, push up on the rack, and it'll lock in this upright position, where here, it only sticks out 16 inches. That's way more manageable. So if you want to leave it in the hitch between rides, you can. It's not going to take up as much space. And when you're ready to ride again, all you got to do is fold it down and load it up. This rack is a bit bulkier though, so backup camera and license plate are a bit more obstructed. And luckily, it sits low enough that our taillights are going to be totally fine. As you convert to the 4-bike, if that's something you're interested in down the road, or you decide to just get that version of it out the gate, that's something you'll probably run into, that it maybe does obstruct those taillights a bit more, and it does start to block your back window a bit. Down at the hitch, we can see it's fitting inside of our 2-inch by 2-inch receiver tube, and it uses this Stinger style hitch pin that'll latch into the side once it finds the hitch pin hole, so it kind of acts like an alignment device. I really like this method of hitch pin because it's also integrated, so you don't have to worry about losing it. Moving our way to the back, we're going to run into our anti-rattle knob. That's the thing we can tighten down, no tools needed, to get this solid and secure in the hitch. And the lock core on it will serve as our security function. When we lock it, the knob will just free spin here, meaning no one can loosen it and remove it from your hitch. And then moving a little bit further back than that, we're going to have our wheels. These are really helpful for transport when the bike rack isn't in the hitch. So it makes it much easier to carry from your garage to your vehicle because you can just wheel it. You don't have to physically lift it. And because the hitch on the Sienna is so low to the ground, you might find that you can kind of tilt it into the receiver tube without really putting that much lift in it at all. So these are a really nice addition that's very unique to this rack, and I think it works really well for the Sienna. But overall, if you're looking for a really nice premium bike rack for your Sienna, I think the Thule is a really great option. I think it's especially a good option if you plan on upgrading it to the 4-bike version now or down the line, because it relocates the handle to tilt it to the new outer edge of the rack, and it's still going to retain those wheels for easy transport. You could compare this to something really similar like the Kuat Envy, and it's going to be, again, a very premium bike rack, very easy to use. And I think the Envy is a little bit nicer in the 2-bike configuration, but that one, if you choose to upgrade it to 4 bikes, doesn't relocate the tilting mechanism. So in the 4-bike version of it, it's almost impossible to do alone. That alone, I think, is reason enough to go with the Thule, pair that up with the wheels for easy transport, and I think you've got a real winner. So for me personally, I really like how it fits on the Sienna, and I think if you're looking for a premium experience, it's certainly going to provide that. Again, my name's Aiden here with eTrailer, and thank you for watching.